Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you. Today is Thursday. This is your dab of the day. And as you can tell, it's been a very difficult period for me. And I apologize for forgetting the dab on the dab of the day yesterday. But let's get to the topic of the day. There's been too much horror. You can tell I'm in a gruesome situation. I'm seeing the neurosurgeon this afternoon for an evaluation. I don't expect they're going to be able to do anything for me. I am getting a MRI of my side of my head, face, for face pain, carotid artery, things like that on Monday. But with all the horror going on, let's talk about happiness. Let's talk about that gut laugh I had last night with Mrs. Stoner about something I can't even remember. 3 times. Let's talk about that tongue kiss she gave me when we were laughing so hard. Let's talk about the fact that I was laying in bed Tuesday night, getting ready to go to sleep. Mrs. Stoner snuck into the room. I didn't see her coming, and planted one on me. A really nice, loving kiss. That's happy. I made it Sunday night to see my son, his fiance's family, go out to a sushi restaurant with them, and spend time in their new house. How exciting for me. My entire savings account of body pain was saved for that event. And I got to tell you, if you have happy things that you can get to them. Because the happy pulls us up by our bootstraps. The feeling of wanting to be happy makes us do almost anything. And when we reach that and seek pleasure and have happy, we just want to repeat it. We're not alone. Everybody does that. It's called the pleasure principle. Everybody looks for the pleasure principle. Even an amoeba wants to feel pleasure. So in the old days, they used to say that the pleasure principle was food and sex. Well, it's more than that. It's food, sex, and drugs, because they did studies that showed that animals, if given the option of going to food, hit the button. For example, the light goes on, they hit the button, they get the food. The light goes on, they hit the button, they get a stimulus in their brain of pleasure. Guess what happened? All the rats died. They all went for pleasure, no food. And pleasure would have been cocaine, things like that. Well, that's not the kind of happy I'm talking about. That's not the kind of pleasure I'm saying we need to search for. We need to find a TV show that we can smile at. Find a newscaster you can laugh at. Find some politician you can make fun of. My point is, we need to get levity back in our lives. Think about what's happened to us. There are many of us worse than I am. So think about this. Little things, little happies. Maybe going towards happy. Gee, that might make me happy. Instead of it has to be, I'm so happy, oh my God. Boy, wouldn't that be interesting? Could that make me happy? Could I smile if I did that? Gee, would that make me smile? These are the things we need to start thinking about. Even if we have the horror pain, even if we have it, it doesn't go away. So you've got to learn how to navigate with it on board. It's like a army that recruits people, trains them in boot camp, and says, okay, throw on your 50-pound packs. We're going for a 15-mile walk. You carry this stuff with you wherever you go. It's the way it is. So they're telling them to run the 15 miles with pack so they get used to having the pack on. What I'm telling you is that we have our pack. Our pack is our pain. Our pack is all the mishigas we go through. They run their 15 miles with the packs on. We have to do things with the packs on too. What I'm suggesting is that in the horror, and the horror may not go away. I am not a doctor, magician. This is not going to make everything go away. What it might do is give you a moment of happy. It might give you a moment of thinking about happy, thinking about what you can do to get yourself happy instead of all about health, all about pain. I found myself recently talking to Mrs. Stoner much too much about my pain. And I go to her and I say, gee, Mrs. Stoner, I don't like talking to you about this. You know what she says? I'm here to talk about it with you. I'm your wife. That's what I'm here for. But I don't like burdening her. I don't like looking bad. I don't like feeling bad. I don't like sounding bad. But the truth is the truth. So, what happens now? What do we do? What we need to do, said the baby shark to Mama Shark, is eat the big whale. How do we do it, Mommy? I'm a little shark. Mommy Shark says to the little shark, honey, we do it one bite at a time. So how do you get happy? How do you think of happy? One step at a time. Can I tell you how I can get a little happy? Ready? This is how. I kid you not. By stroking this dog's head, cleaning her eyes from the stuff that goes in it during the days, gives me pleasure. It's pleasure. So if you have something this simple you can do, this simple that you can do, this simple, think how simple this is. Look how simple, this is like an automatic thing. It's like hitting the automatic garage door opener. All right? You can have that if you're lucky like I am, and some of us, or else you've got to find things that you need to do to give you a little happy. It's not going to make you happy. I can't promise that. I am not the magician, like I said. But I can get you to think about it. I can get you to go towards happy and recognize that it's not a sin to be happy. That's the other part of this. Many of us don't have pleasure and happy in our lives because we live in chronic intractable pain. But it's because we live in chronic intractable pain. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's a vicious circle. It's a merry-go-round we can't get off of. You almost have to stop and get off to find happy. What I'm saying is even if you're stuck on the merry-go-round, the gold ring is happy. You can't reach it. You can see it. You can have a goal. And a goal can be, let me be a little happier. Let me find something to be happy about. Our children, our friends, our family members. Something's good happening in your family. Whatever the thing is, it doesn't have to tickle. It just has to get you off the topic of horror. How do you get off the topic of the horror that's going on in our bodies? Everyone says distraction, and that's the wonderful thing. But what if you don't have distraction? What if you can't get there? I think distraction is step 3. Step 1 or step half is thinking, what do I do to get happy? What do I do to improve my state of mind? Maybe it's not going to be all the way happy. Maybe it'll just be an improvement in my state of mind. How do I get there? You don't have to get there. I'm not saying that you have to achieve happy. I'm saying you have to think about it. Because if you think about it, you're looking towards it. When I train a dog, I've had many dogs, when you train a dog and you say come, and it just looks at you, you say good dog, because it looked at you. Anything even near a come, anything even close to being looking at you, moving towards you, is a positive. So when searching for happy in a world of horror, maybe happy is just a moment of not having horror. So what we have to do, everyone's is different, is we have to find out the gauge, if you will, our own individual barometer for happy. And then look at what happy truly is, the apex, and then look at all the different derivatives of happy and what it takes to be and the combinations of and the permutations of, and maybe you'll get a little bit of happy dust on you today. Okay? So this is the real Senior Stoner. Let's take a dab and let's pray and hope that we can get something in the direction of happy coming our way. I'm not asking you all to get a kiss from Mrs. Stoner. Find your own happy. Cheers. But what I am saying, even me, in the horror, I'm going to start looking to happy. Doesn't mean it's going to change my life or take my pain away. But I'm going to have a little bit of happy dust in my life. I should let you all know that a little dust has come over me because I'm helping you. That's a happy for me. So thank you. This is the Real Senior Stoner. Hoping everybody can get a little happier.